Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to welcome you back to our talk specifically geared to some of my young viewers. And what we're talking about is how we are to live as young people. Obviously, I'm not a young person, but I was once. And how we are to live. And we talked about Timothy and Paul's letter to Timothy in 1st and 2nd Timothy, and I hope that you did take some time and read those two books. Like I said, they're very short. It's easy reading, so I hope that you've taken the time to go and read them. But I wanted to tell you about the most important warning that Paul gave Timothy, and that was not to tolerate or believe the lies. And there were a lot of lies going on back then. There was a lot of misinformation, as we call it today, that was being dealt out about the Christian life and what Christians believed and what they were supposed to do. Remember, the church was just an infant at this time. It was being born. You know, we look at the first century church and we see, what Paul's doing. You can read the book of Acts and you see all that went on in there, and you got all of the growth that was happening. Christians were being added to the church by huge numbers. But remember this, there was no Bible. Back then there was no Bible. Because the church was just being born. The letter was just being written to Timothy. It wasn't a case that he said, oh, by the way, Timothy, go look at your letter that's in this book. It was a case of, this is happening in real time of what's going on. And so there was a lot of lies that were going on, a lot of misinformation that was being there. And we face this same problem today, and especially with young people. At one time we could trust what we learned in school. We could trust what people were teaching us. That's not the case anymore, and I'm sorry to say that, but it is not the case anymore. Because there are ideas and doctrines that are being taught as truth that are not truth. And you have to be careful. Don't you ever, now listen to me please, don't you ever just assume because you're young you have to believe the stuff that you're being told. You are old enough and smart enough to look into these things yourself. Don't be lazy. You're being taught to be lazy. And believe me, this is the truth. Please listen to me. You're being taught to be lazy. All you're being taught is, I'm going to tell you what you should know. And all you have to do is memorize the answers I give you, and then you can answer what's on the test, and you're educated. No, that's not how it works. It's true that you have to give them their answers in order to pass their test, but when it comes to the truth, you have resources out there that they can't block, and it's going to take effort on your part to find the truth, but find the truth. One of the things about youth is that there is this natural sense of rebellion that comes up inside of us, and it can be used to the bad many times, but it can also be used to the good. And that sense of rebellion says, I can figure this out for myself. And figure it out. The resources are out there. Don't read everything that you find online. You got to do some searching to find the truth, but find the truth. Go and see what these things are. And you can find many great resources that are going to help you to understand. Remember this, please. You are not going to school. You are not being educated to learn how to think. You are being told what to think. Now, true freedom is when you are told to think. Not how to think, but to think. When you think for yourself, then, and only then, do you understand true freedom. Thinking for yourself is the freest thing you will ever do. And one of the key elements of that is through reading. That is why when totalitarian governments come in, one of the first things they do is they ban books. They ban information because they don't want people to learn and to think. Because thinking causes freedom. Now, remember this. Learn for yourself. Never believe the lies. Always learn for yourself. Until next time, for the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I want to encourage you to live your purpose and change your world.